I'm Trish from Honey Pies Recipes. Today we're going to make turkey stuffing. This is for a contest being sponsored by More Than Gourmet for their classic roasted turkey Demi-Glace. When I got the email invitation to participate, the first thing that came to mind was to do Thanksgiving stuffing. Back in the day, we used to stuff the turkey with the bread dressing and cook it and pull it out, and it had all of those wonderful juices from the turkey that it soaked up. So it had this wonderful turkey flavor in addition to the eggs and the apples and everything else we put into it. But since we have to cook that stuffing now to reach 165 degrees to get rid of any bacteria, the outside of the turkey is way overdone and dry. So now we cook it in a casserole dish. But we're missing those flavors. So I'm going to put those flavors back with this classic roasted turkey demi-glace. So the first thing that we need to do is get our aromatics, our onions, our celery, and apple, sauteing in some butter with sage and black pepper and salt. Get those flavors going. Then the first thing I want to do is show you how to dice. An onion is pretty straightforward, but if you want to dice celery, we're taking the outer celery stalks here. So they're on the large size. So we're going to just cut them into quarters lengthwise. And then just line them up and dice them. These three aromatics give a really lovely flavor and something I find very traditional for Thanksgiving, especially with the apple and the sage. There we have our celery. And then for the apple, just peel and quarter your apple and then just remove the core. Put it on the side and just cut a few slices this way. And then you just want to stack them. And if you're not comfortable stacking them, you can also just put them in a row and cut thin slices. The apple pretty much dissolves in this from all the cooking. You're just really left with just that wonderful flavor. Also gives moisture to the dish. Turn them sideways and then just go right down, cutting it into a very nice little dice. And there. These come to a good cup a piece. There's nothing, it's a medium onion, 2 outer stalks of the celery because they're on the larger side, and 1 apple. This is a gala apple. I like the flavor of the gala. Honeycrisp would be good. I find that Granny Smith is just a little bit too tart for this dish. So we have our aromatics. Yeah, we need to melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter melts and foams, as soon as you see that foam in the bottom, that means it's ready. It's nice and hot, everything's melted. We're just going to scoop up the aromatics here, add our spices and herbs. Sweat those. Sweating means we're just cooking them so that they exude the natural water content. Soften up a little bit, and then we're going to add the demi-glace. What a demi-glace is a stock that has been cooked down until it's almost gelatin-like consistency. And then what you do is you use it in small quantities, reconstitute it with water, and it gives you great flavor. I particularly love to use these for quick pan sauces. Great that way. So now we've got our melted butter. Just scoop these up. Pepper, our salt. Give it a little stir. Back on the stove. Let these sweat covered for 6 minutes. A bunch of breadcrumbs here. And one of the secrets to my dressing is I use 3 different kinds of bread. I use a pumpernickel, a rye, and a whole wheat. With the rye, I go for an unseeded rye. Find the caraway seeds that just overwhelm a little bit. And the other thing is 5 slices of each. And my little trick is to go to the deli and ask them for 5 slices of each and bring them home. That way I don't have to buy a whole loaf of everything, although you could freeze it, but we don't use bread that much. So anyway, there's your bread. Just take a nice sharp knife, 1/2 inch slices, turn, 1/2 inch, and you got a nice little cube going here. You can stack your bread as well. Scoop that back up, and there's your bread, ready to go. I also like to put some dried fruit in. The raisins are dried cranberries, so we'll put these in after we finish reconstituting the demi-glace in the vegetables. And we'll add this because then that has to cool, and while it's cooling, the raisins will plump. There's a little wait time between one stage and the other. After we have put in the turkey demi-glace, we have to reconstitute that. We'll put in the raisins, let those plump, and then we have to set it aside and let it cool. Now don't put it in the refrigerator because the pan and the vegetables are all hot, and that doesn't cool down the vegetables fast, but what it does do is increase the temperature in your refrigerator, which is not a good thing. So just let it sit outside until you can touch the sides, and then you can refrigerate it if you want, if you're making that a day in advance. Or you can, if you have a screened-in porch like I do and live in the Northeast, you can use your porch, because it's chilly out, to cool things faster. That's what I do. I have this great screened-in porch. It acts as a little holding refrigerator for me during the holidays. So, open this up. Now we have our sauteed aromatics. Put in a cup and 1/4 of water. A cup reconstitutes the demi-glace, and 1/4 cup is just a little extra to plump up those raisins. So we put this in, take this back over to the stove, bring it to a boil, and as soon as this is all melted, no more lumps in there, we stop, pop in the raisins, and let it cool. So the demi-glace has melted, and we're going to pop in our raisins or your dried cranberries. Give those a stir, and then I'm just going to pop this onto my porch and let this cool, and then we'll be back and we'll finish things off. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I have a 2-quart casserole here. It needs to be lightly greased. A little piece of wax paper and just a smidgen of butter. It's about a teaspoon, which would be 1/3 of the tablespoon in the little measure on the butter. That's more than enough to grease the bottom and the sides of the pan. That's ready to go. Oven is heating up. Let's take our 3 eggs, pop those in, add 1 cup of milk, just break the yolks, keep your bowl. Seasonings are already in with your vegetables, so let's add those now that they've cooled. Anything behind because it's so delicious. Mix. Alright, now we add in our breadcrumbs, or our bread cubes rather. And we're just going to fold these in making sure everything is very moist. Make sure all cubes get a chance to soak up some liquid. Bring back our casserole dish here. Then I'm just going to pile this into the dish. I'm going to cook this covered at first because we don't want it to dry out. We need to stay nice and moist. So we'll cook it for 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Then we're going to take the cover off because I like a little crispiness, a little brownness to the top. And we'll cook it for another 10-15 minutes. And then it's done. And it's ready to go to the table. And then cover it. Cover on. I'm going to pop it into our preheated oven. We'll be back in 40 minutes to show you the final dish. And there it is. We're ready to go to the Thanksgiving table with our delicious Thanksgiving stuffing using the More Than Gourmet classic roasted turkey demi-glace. Enjoy. Have a great holiday, guys. Bye.